I call this public hearing to order.
Are we going to record this? Or no? Do they want to record
Tell him
this?
that.
I mean, I've got recording on.
Joey, I don't think it's really supposed to be a public hearing. It's
No,
just
this
a meeting
is-
of the redistrict committee.
Yeah, this is just a meeting of the
I thought this was
redistricting
a
meeting.
public hearing. That's the way it was sold to me.
Well, there's nothing to hear. We haven't passed
Okay,
we haven't voted on anything.
I retract that then.
All right, I'll get this meeting started and I'll turn it over to Mr. Ben Rogers and he can kind of explain why we're having to go through this redistricting process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the redistricting process happens every 10 years after the federal census has been completed. The census was in 2020. Of course, COVID delayed their process of getting that done. The numbers didn't come in until September officially, or August, I'm sorry, middle of August officially. They normally come in the middle of March, end of March, and normally we would start redistricting in May. And that didn't happen this year, so we had to start basically September, October for all the counties in Tennessee. Every county in Tennessee has to do this. It's a requirement, state requirement, it's a federal requirement for that as far as the census goes. And Van Buren County had changed so much in 10 years as far as the demographics of how it laid out. And so, and I'll get to that deviation in just a second, but the idea behind redistricting is one person equals one vote. It's not eligible voters equals one vote. It's everybody that exists in the district equals one vote in the Federal Census Bureau's eyes and redistricting eyes to the state of Tennessee. So basically the deviation in Van Buren County changed a lot in the south end of the county based on the population of each district. Right now, I'm going to pull up as you stand now, if you can see this, and that's the old map that they have copies of that we've looked at as well. But this is just as you stand now. Let me make it a little bit bigger. And you'll see right here in District 4, this purple area, how big it is currently. Well, there's a big deviation in there. There's basically, let me look at my numbers. District 4 is about 44%. Oh, District 4 is high and District 5 is low. District 5 is 20% low at 992. So the committee had to do a lot of work. They told me which census blocks to click on and which districts to put those census blocks in. Census blocks are decided by the federal government. They're not decided by me. They're not decided by the state. And what a census block is a block of people, and the boundary of the census block could be anything. It could be a road, it could be a stream, it could be power lines, it could be a body of water, it could be city limits, it could be county limits, it could be anything that the federal government deems fit to be a census block. We cannot change those. Those are set in stone and those people in it. So some census blocks may be really small with a few people in it, and there may be a census block that's 2 miles long with 20 people in it, but it's 2 miles long. And when you click on that census block, you gotta click on the whole thing. So Van Buren County stood at 64% deviation. The state recommends that you're under 10%. So District 4 being about 44% high and District 5 being almost 20% high, that's 64% deviation. So there's a lot of work that had to go into the south end of the county. Now I'm going to pull up what the committee has looked at and decided that they want to look at further. And wanted to have this informational session as well to show the commission. We have got the deviation under 9%. It's about 8.5%. So deviation's under about 8.5%. Let me zoom out just a little bit. You can see District 4 was downsized. District 5 grew. There were a lot of plans looked at. There was a lot of movement going on. The committee did a good job talking through some stuff, and this is where we're at. So we're under that recommended 10% deviation. And what that is you got to take the district with the most amount of people, with what their percentage is, the district with the fewest amount of people, and what percent deviation they are, and you add those two together. So ideally, you want every district to be around 5% deviation. That way you're not going to exceed that 10%. But sometimes a district may be at 6%, but your next highest one would have to be like 4%. So has to be within that 10. Why do you have to be under 10? In case somebody decides that the committee didn't do a good job, they're more likely to win a lawsuit if it's above 10%. So I recommend as a consultant to be under 10%, and that's where they're at. Of course, I don't live here. I don't know every single demographic. I don't know every single geographic. So I'm gonna let the chair, anybody else in the committee kind of tell you what we moved around, unless somebody's got questions. Anybody got questions? That's a brief snapshot of redistricting. Every 10 years, county commission will approve well, they don't have to approve, but the committee will recommend a plan, a county commission district plan. They'll recommend to the commission can approve or not approve. If they don't approve, the committee's got to go back to work. If they do approve, then I get with election administrator and we move voting precinct lines, and the election commission approves that plan. Once they approve the plan, I send both plans to the state comptroller's office and they send you maps back.
Deadline to get it to the comptroller.
Deadline is January 1. If you have primaries, it's sooner than that because county commissioners have to know which district they're running in. So if you have primary, if you're in a county that has a primary, you would want to do it by the end of November. No later than like the first week of December.
Yeah.
Primaries for commission.
Commissioners, yes. Like Cumberland County, they have primaries, but they don't have county commission primaries.
That's how we're the same way.
So, yeah. So y'all have January 1 is the drop deadline for y'all. The state will start doing their redistricting, drawing of lines in January. The House of Representatives has a consulting firm that does theirs. The Senate has a consulting firm that does theirs, and so forth. So any questions?
All right. Any questions from the court? Now, is this something we could take action on tonight?
As a
committee?
committee, you can take action on to recommend this plan if you want to.
Is there any discussion from the public about? Well, the court would vote on it. If we were to pass it in committee, then the court would vote on it in November. So then it would be published and everything.
Y'all can publish this plan in the paper, but it's not required by law. It's not required to have a public hearing either.
Yeah.
Full county commissioner got to approve it.
Yes, sir. It's got to be a majority vote. Simple majority. You're still with 5 districts. You're still with 2 county commissioners per district.
Gonna be done with January 1.
Got to be January 1.
All
Prefer to do
right.
it before Christmas. That's my preference. I don't want to be here at Christmas.
Have-
Just for clarification. So if instead it can. Financial impact.
I'll ask somebody else.
I think their plan is for 5.
Right, I'm saying if.
Well, if we were to go, let's say a 6, you'd have to add another precinct, which, what is it, Wayne? $12,000 for the voting machines? So then you would have the cost of the 2 new commissioners, cost of a school board member. So, commissioners, I don't know. I mean, we average $1,500 a year maybe. So, but it'd be around 3,000-ish for the commissioners. School board, I'm not sure what,
It could be close to about 20 grand.
yeah.
But you only got, the 12,000 would be a one-time.
Yeah, now the 12,000 would be a one-time billing for that machine. But, the commissioner and the school board member, that would be a reoccurring cost, so.
Plus you got poll workers that you'll have to hire more. So it costs more per election.
That could also be a possibility. And census.
That 10 years from now, we could have to have 7 districts. Who knows?
Being under this plan here, still keep 10 commissioners,
Yes.
Yes.
still keep the same amount of school board.
So the school board members, the way the school board members are now, they were established by a private act back in 1950, I think. But you can establish the school board members either by a resolution by the county commission or another private act. But you would not decide that on this committee. It would be
That's what they did was each district got one school board member.
So I understand that only be 2 commissioners to the district.
Same amount as. we have.
Yeah,
amount.
we'd have the same amount. The only thing that is really affected by this is you do have one school board member that was in the 5th district. If we were to vote on the new map, they would be in the 1st district where they currently live. Now, the 5th district does run this next election, does it not, Wayne? I think we did. And the 1st will run too. So both, all parties that would be affected by this, they would all be able to run. They would serve their term out. So that is one thing to look at. All right. Any other questions, comments, action? Hear any action by the committee? You're not on the committee.
I thought the commission had to.
No.
Not yet.
The committee has to approve it first, then the commission will have their chance in November.
Vote tonight.
So moved.
Gotta make a motion.
I made that motion.
Do I hear a second? All right. I'll do a roll call vote. Will,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Joey,
Yes.
Wayne, and I myself vote yes. So motion passes.
And the maps of this new plan is up here for anybody to look at. I had those printed today. Putnam County GIS, Brandon Smith printed them for me, so you can thank him. But that's for y'all to look at. So
Ben, there was one oddity on that map that it was a 0, but it ran down Highway 1.
Yeah, it went down 111.
Yeah, it's a 0. I don't know if we can clean that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can fix that.
It's a 0.
It's the median.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll fix that.
Nobody lives in the median.
Yeah, I can fix it.
You told me you're not gonna go for 6 districts.
All right. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I so moved, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion? Do I hear a second? All in favor? Aye.